And welcome to The Corner. I'm Frosted Glass, and I'm joined by my fellow Alabaster Savages, Jack Gunsky.
You ever got a pair of boxer shorts on that doesn't fit well anymore? And like when you pull your pants up, they bunch around and you feel like you're in a giant inner tube? No? Anyone? Fair enough.
That got creepy fast.
Jack tried hard drugs for the first time. All right. Moonshock.
I cannot confirm at all that Jack is drinking tonight, but we'll see as the night progresses.
Terry Diamantis.
I regret joining this stream already.
And this week's special guest, Inquisitor 8.1.
I can confirm that Quiz is in fact drinking tonight.
Oh.
Jack would be considerably more normal if he were drinking.
And what are you drinking, Quiz?
Cheers. Some Grolsch.
What is that in
idea.
English?
No idea what that is.
It's a German Pilsner beer.
Yeah.
Ah, L'Heim.
It's really good. It's really, really good.
All right. And I just have to say that in response to what you said before the show started, Quiz, I just have one thing to say. Harriet Tubman on the money. Are you serious? There's something categorically profane about putting an Afro-American ex-slave on U.S. currency.
Just say black for Christ's sake. What is this gonna be the new thing? Afro-American? Like, you know, they every 3 years or so they switch the phrasing because the old phrasing inexplicably becomes offensive. I mean, geez, can you spell inferiority complex any more clearly? That your own wording becomes offensive with like a shelf life of 3 years.
Oh, and apparently it was written by a comic book character by Johnny Silvercloud.
Ah.
Sounds like an old comic book character.
Yeah.
Like from the Golden Age or the Silver Age, since Silver Planet.
There seems to be a controversy between having Harriet Tubman on money replacing Andrew Jackson. Since this initiative has been blocked for years, there's been a lot of time to think about it. I remember this being a topic in 2019. My thought on it hasn't changed since then. The only thing that has changed since 2019 is that now I'm writing again, so expect me to share my thoughts on the matter.
Nobody cares about your thoughts.
But is it really necessary in an article you've written to state that you're now writing articles? Like, we know you are.
Yep.
Oh, just me. It's
Yeah.
Are you serious? I don't give a shit about what you say.
At first, I had a considerable indifference of this gesture, but that indifference grew into an intense dislike. I genuinely do not like the notion of Harriet Tubman being on U.S. currency. I know what you're thinking. Let me explain. I think there's value in explaining my reasoning.
Well, as I said on Twitter, I like that they're helping the black people by erasing them again.
Yeah.
Well, okay, hold on. I know what you're thinking. First of all, who the hell is this? I have no idea who you are, let alone how do you know what I'm thinking?
Johnny Silvercloud is a mind reader. Clearly, that is one of his superpowers.
I'm just who does this author think we are? I mean, what do you mean we're think? Does he know what every single person on the planet is thinking, or does he know what like one person he had in mind while he was writing this article?
No, see, Jack, you're forgetting that people who aren't him are a monolith. Everyone thinks the exact same way except him. That's why he needs to explain.
That's right. Because
anyone who reads his
everyone is
article,
wrong except him.
Anyone who reads his articles, he can read their mind. That's his superpower.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I don't even think Harriet Tubman would even want to be on money in the first place. Think about it. She was a runaway slave. Money was the motivation for slavery. I doubt she has any love for it. Why would she, an
Well, she
anti...
said he has no love for anything.
You can't
Not
prove
to put
that.
too fine a point on it.
Think about it. Let's see. I doubt she has any love for it. Why would she, an anti-slavery abolitionist, want to be represented in her life, or afterlife, as an object to be passed around, exchanging hundreds, if not thousands, of dirty hands?
Oh my god.
You know,
dirty, dirty hands.
Still
You
not
know,
clean.
it's
Still
good,
not
right?
clean.
Why are you kink shaming, man? You don't know what she's into.
Yeah.
what is this obsession amongst this the medium people about taking literally anything in the universe and hyper analyzing it to the nth degree to look for potential offenses? You're not finding offenses. You're finding concoctions of offenses. You have materialized this offense from thin air.
As
But what you-
Sargon said, they are grievance merchants. That's the
Oh, yeah.
whole point.
That's basically what I was going to say. Is like, if they don't mind everything for offense, what are they going to write articles about? Their livelihood depends on it.
Yeah, if I had a soundboard, I'd just play the cha-ching sound right now. Let's see. Think about it. Do you really think that Harriet Tubman would totally love the notion of being passed around as an object of monetary value? Didn't she
Yes.
run away from this? Didn't she, Harriet Tubman, also ushered the freedom of hundreds, if not thousands of black people, to degrade and destroy the very notion of a black body being considered monetary value?
Stop saying black bodies. It's creepy.
Black bodies being
sounds
passed
like
around with
she's,
dirty hands.
It sounds like she's advocating, or this person is advocating for a black market organ, donation ring.
I like how Quiz assumes it's a woman in much the same way I do.
Yeah,
Mm.
it sounds like a pissed off feminist. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I know that these people all sound the same, and I always think it's a woman who wrote it based on the voice.
Let's see. Didn't she, Harriet Tubman, thus deterred the very act of black people being passed around as objects? Didn't she prevent hundreds, if not thousands, of black people from being touched by dirty hands? Didn't she enable
Dirty hands.
Dirty.
Yeah, the writer touched himself while he was writing that line.
Yeah.
I know.
And then some.
What were you about to say, Jack?
No, I was just thinking, no, I lost my thought. Keep going.
Didn't she enable agency in black people, starting with herself? Why would she agree with being on money? Everything about Harriet Tubman is incongruent with the notion of putting her on cash.
Okay. What is the problem with money? What's wrong with money?
Money doesn't have any.
Money is
Yeah, I
slavery,
know.
weren't you listening?
Money is everything. Money is anything you can buy in the world. That's what money is. Why suddenly, because it was used for slavery, it's evil? No, that's not what this author is saying. This author is talking about communism. This author is a socialist. I'm calling it right now. This is all just one big rally against the notion of capitalism. I'm willing to bet that, and I know that technically I'm doing the same mind reading that this author proposes, but
Jack, it's on Medium. Of course, they're a socialist.
yeah,
I
I
was gonna say
know.
that myself.
This person's just a dirty, rotten socialist, and they're ragging on the concept of currency in general because they're an idiot.
Didn't she, Harriet Tubman, I'm glad they keep reminding us what her name was, by the very act of conducting the Underground Railroad, argued that the U.S. government cannot establish a monetary value of black life? Does not the actions of her life argue that black life is priceless? It's like the life of a slave in itself, holding a specific capitalistic value, being passed around for trade. If I were
There you
Harriet...
go.
Hmm?
There's the attack on capitalism. No, it started already.
Yep. If I were Harriet Tubman, I'd say no thanks. If you want to honor Harriet, I'd suggest a massive statue in Washington, D.C. or so. Put her near
You've been tearing all those down, you asshole!
But also, which Harriet? They didn't specify.
Yeah. No, we won't tear this one down, Pinky swear. If you want, I'd suggest a massive statue in Washington, D.C. or so. Put her near the Martin Luther King Memorial. There's definitely space.
Because of what Jack said.
Wait, the Martin Luther King Memorial out in front of the FBI building?
Hmm?
That one?
Is that one of the ones that was torn down?
No, it's one of the ones that's properly cited when everyone talks about how hypocritical the FBI were when saying that they were celebrating Martin Luther King Day, saying that the FBI were one of the people that killed him.
Mhm.
Did you guys not see this?
I don't think so.
I mean, I am several weeks late for that, but you know,
Mhm.
the FBI are blamed for killing Martin Luther King.
Oh, wow.
And
I
no
didn't hear
evolved potato. It's not Harriet the Spy. It's Harriet Tubman.
that.
Oh man, when was the last time I heard of those books?
Mhm.
That was like
Books?
when I was in first grade. Wasn't
didn't-
Harriet the Spy a series of books, a children's
It was
books?
a movie.
No, it was a TV show on Nickelodeon.
No, it was a
I'm
I'm
movie.
pretty sure they were originally books.
No, it
Oh,
was
look
a
this
movie
up.
made by Nickelodeon, and it had
I'm
Dawn from Buffy the Vampire Slayer in it.
Yeah, because I remembered it as a movie. So it definitely was a movie.
Let's see here.
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, you're right. There was a book, yes, by Louise Fitzhugh, in 1964. But all I remember it from being was just a TV show on Nickelodeon.
Nah.
Yeah, because I remember the tape was orange because it was a Nickelodeon movie. VHSs. All right. All right. I lost my place because of Harriet the Spy.
Oh.
Okay.
I get it if you want to replace Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, I get it if you want to replace Andrew Jackson. Trust me, I want to replace his ass too. When it comes to that argument, one can replace him with someone who at least agreed with capitalism. You can put Franklin Delano Roosevelt on a $20 bill. Why isn't he on a dollar bill in the first place? You can replace Jackson with Truman, or Theodore Roosevelt, or Kennedy. But I thought being
Kennedy's
on money...
already on money.
I thought being on money was a bad thing. Isn't that what they're trying to say?
Can I just do a brief sidetrack for a moment? While I was looking up Harriet the Spy, one of the first results that comes up is Harriet Tubman, Union Spy. And I thought that was just a lovely coincidence. Sorry, go on.
I don't think the girl from Buffy the Vampire Slayer was playing Harriet Tubman.
Maybe she was. I didn't watch the movie.
If you want to put a black person on there, you can always put Madam C.J. Walker on there. Replacing a hyper-racist Andrew Jackson with the first black millionaire would be a hilarious gesture. You can put Jack Johnson on there, first black boxing champion. Hell, you can even put Barack Obama on there, or Colin Powell. These are all terrible
How about just the
suggestions.
words insert nigger here? Just keep it open.
Every single person that's on any sort of currency is a president of the United States. So if you're sitting there trying to make a claim that anyone belongs on money, the only claim that you have for a black person is Barack Obama, period. And the problem with that is that he's far too recent of a president to be put on money.
Well, they're not all presidents. There's Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's true. All right. Good point.
I was gonna say, is this one of those tricks where it's like, oh, I thought he's on the currency, and then I go and look at it? No, it wasn't Benjamin Franklin on the $100 bill. It was somebody else that you've never heard of.
It was Harriet the Spy.
Yes.
There are far too many black people.
Isn't he the only one? Isn't he the only one that's not a president?
I believe so.
There's Sacagawea, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What the fuck?
Unfortunately, Quiz's theory is falling apart very quickly.
But those are the only two, right? Oh no, Susan B. Anthony. Shit. All right, fuck it then.
Let's see. There are far too many black people who served as agents of capitalism to put a socialistic anarchist hero on U.S. currency. What was she, socialist or anarchistic? Is this
She
based
didn't want to be a slave, so she was opposed to capitalism. That's the reason. That's the reasoning that the author is using. She objected to being a slave, therefore she objected to capitalism.
Well, Harriet Tubman also was a suffragette later in her life. Although I'm not sure if she knew that all of the other suffragettes did not want black people to vote.
Yeah. But they probably didn't tell her that.
No, they probably didn't.
On a tangent, one of the only things I remember from the Man Show is when they set up a thing like getting people to sign to put an end to women's suffrage, and like everyone was like, "Oh yeah, I want to sign that," because they don't know what suffrage is. There's like, we want to put an end to women's suffrage. Oh, definitely yes.
Yeah, because they think it's suffering.
Yeah, women have suffered for far too long.
Oh yeah, and Dr. Keeve points out Alexander Hamilton too wasn't president.
I think we make all presidents posthumously, so Quiz's theory makes sense.
And then the Democrats can posthumously impeach them.
Yes,
I think that
exactly.
we should put every president on currency of some sort, and we just invent new currencies every time like a president comes up. And so we end up getting with the commemorative $17 bill.
Well, isn't there an expression like crooked as a $3 note or something like that?
$2.
It's like,
no, $2 notes actually exist.
Yeah, they do. That's why
that's the point. It stemmed from. No, but it's a $3 note because they don't exist. Is the point? Like you're saying someone's crooked, like corrupt and sort of not honest. So a $3 note doesn't exist.
I thought it was queer as a $2 bill.
Again, $2 bill doesn't make sense if $2 bills actually exist.
But they do exist. They're just not in circulation anymore.
Yeah,
no, they're still in circulation.
No,
well, I mean, they're still legal tender. It's just that they don't print them anymore.
Well, they're not common.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense to say that they're queer because they're just they're real things.
I don't know.
Will says that every president has a $1 coin. Yeah, but those are those cheesy commercial. You should buy the Trump coin today for 3 easy payments of $19.95 for a small coin. Jesus
there
Christ.
you go.
All right. Do not put her on money. Putting Harriet on paper money is a form of performative activism, not reparative activism. We require repair, not performance. Besides, it is unfitting to put a runaway slave American hero on a symbol of capitalism, being that slavery in and of itself is the ultimate symbol of capitalism without regulation.
Here's an idea. Why don't we get these activists? Well, first of all, slacktivists, because this person hasn't done jack shit in their entire life. But holy shit, we just lost quiz. One of the things. Sorry, I lost my train of thought from that unexpected occurrence. Anyway, why don't we just get these activists who are contradicting each other constantly to just battle it out together? Because over here we have Black Lives Matter rioters whose entire purpose is purely symbolic. Then over here we have, you can't have symbolic activism. That's stupid. Put them in a room together and have them work it out so they stop contradicting each other at every possible fucking turn.
Or just have them fight to the death. That's 2 birds, 1 stone.
Beautiful. I love it. and then one shall emerge victorious. Sorry.
But then that person is then galvanized and is far stronger than you could possibly imagine.
No,
They
he's
rise
not.
from
He
the
just spent an entire hour like beating a guy to death. He's beat. He's all tuckered out.
The notion of a heroic black woman who evaded slavery and the violent force of white supremacy and capitalism, just gotta sneak that in there, which sought to keep her in chains being placed on money is gross. And that's how they end the article.
Well, I'm in favor of keeping Harriet Tubman off the money because clearly she's unworthy of being put on it.
So I'm gonna pose to you guys a question. What's the over under that the person that wrote this article is white?
I'd say 80% chance that they're white. So let's yeah. 80% says that this person is white.
Can't find a photo.
What was the name again?
Johnny
Silvercloud.
Silvercloud.
It sounds white. It sounds like a white name.
It sounds like the whitest name in the universe.
Well, hold on. What the fuck?
What?
I'm getting conflicted ones here. One of them is this bald black man in black and white, and he looks very
No,
dapper.
I found his Twitter, and
Oh,
it's
yeah?
a white guy. It's a white guy.
Oh, yeah.
It's an editor in chief of Afro Sapiophile, and then there's a link to his Medium page, and the pinned tweet is this article.
So basically, we've kind of got ourselves what do you call it? A Talcum situation here.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's hard to tell because the picture is like it's black and white, but it looks like it's a drawing, I should say, a black and white drawing.
It's
But it's
rose.
hard to tell if it's meant to be black or white, but it could. My first thought was it's a white guy, but
I think it actually is a black guy.
yeah, it's hard to tell. Because I mean, it's not a photo of him.
Honestly, I'm inclined to suspect that based on what I'm hearing that it's a black guy because let's be honest, if a white guy was running a newspaper with Afro in the title, he would get lynched immediately.
Good point.
Yeah, and also, like, during the times of slavery, weren't there, like, laws that, runaway slaves had to be returned and all that? So it wasn't unregulated capitalism. But, of course it has to be blamed on capitalism.
Well, capitalism is evil. Haven't you heard?
Yeah.
Capitalism is terrible. It's a shame that it's never been tried.
All right. And with the end of the first article, that means it's time for the first game, which I like to call the horseshoe game. And in this one quiz, I'm going to read two quotes from two different forums. One of them a Black Separatist forum, and the other Stormfront, and you have to guess which is which. All right. And also the chat will be able to take part in this one because I'll be running a poll. Let's see. Okay. All right, so quote A, but we don't have the clout to reach that broad of an audience without an incredibly hostile blank media spreading lies and working contrary to any message we could put out to the masses. And quote B, President blank has always been abundantly clear about the fact that the U.S.'s nose would always remain firmly implanted up Israel's ass for as long as he was in charge of the country. All right, and I'll start the poll for the chat. And I put instructions on what to type to vote to try and make that clearer. because I know there was some confusion. All right. So what do you guys think? Which one is Stormfront?
I gotta say, B sounds like a bluff. I think that it says Obama.
Okay.
I think that B is Stormfront.
Okay. Moon.
I think that's a feint. Because every supremacist movement hates the Jews.
That is true.
I'm gonna say that B is the Black Separatist and A is Stormfront.
Okay.
I'm going to say they're both black separatists because we don't get both being the same thing often enough. So I'm going to go with both being black.
Moon.
Moon's
We
not
lost
in the
Moon a
chat.
while ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
About the same time we lost Quiz, we lost Moon, and then Moon just never came. Ah, there he is.
There's Moon.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry about that. I have no idea what's going on with my account or with my connection, but I'm here.
All right. Well, you're just in time for the horseshoe game. I don't suppose you heard the
Yay.
quotes.
No, I didn't. I actually just got back now.
Okay. Well, quote A is, "But we don't have the clout to reach that broad of an audience without an incredibly hostile blank media spreading lies and working contrary to any message we could put out to the masses." And quote B,
See that?
quote B, "President blank has always been abundantly clear about the fact that the U.S.'s nose would always remain firmly implanted up Israel's ass for as long as he was in charge of the country."
Oh, you're giving new options, huh? Both and neither?
Well, those options were there. I just put the
Oh, okay.
instructions there so there's less confusion.
Okay.
The audience seems to think that B is Stormfront. So, what do you think, Moon?
Let me think here. I'm actually going to say B is Stormfront, yes.
Okay. And the answer is... hold on, I gotta find it. Oh, there we go. A is Stormfront.
Was it hostile Jew media or something?
All right, and the uncensored versions. "But we don't have the clout to reach that broad of an audience without an incredibly hostile Jew media spreading lies and working contrary to any message we could put out to the masses." And quote B, "President Obama has always been abundantly clear about the fact that the U.S.'s nose would always remain firmly implanted up Israel's ass for as long as he was in charge of the country."
I was expecting that to be President Trump.
No, I was expecting President Obama.
Can I just say, while I got it wrong, I called both blank words, so I think that should count for something.
No, but like as Frosted was reading it, I assumed President Obama purely because he's the black president. Like he's the one that they're going to be talking about. No, it just made sense to me that it would be Obama's name there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I like how the fact that I'm right though, because everyone hates Jews, including black supremacists.
as I've always said, if the black extremists and the white extremists can agree on one thing, it's that they hate the Jews.
One of these weeks, Frosted is gonna come up with like two statements. Both of them have blanks, and he's gonna reveal they both say Jew under them.
I'm sure that's happened already.
It probably has. I don't know.
And because I remember it's come up before because I pointed out he had no need to blank out Jew because both groups hate Jews, so it doesn't matter if you reveal that it's Jews. It's like doesn't give any information.
My favorite bit is that even the black Hebrew Israelites hate Jews.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wrap your mind around that one.
Isn't that like a self-hate?
Yes.
Well, no, it's the fact that the Jews are fake Jews.
What is? I gotta ask, what is with the Jew hate? Honestly, I don't get it, but for some reason it still seems totally prevalent in our society. I have no idea why. Why?
It's just a scapegoat for all your troubles.
Well, from from what I've heard, it kind of originated because the Jews were the money lenders, and so like everyone owed them money, and they resented them for that, and that's where the anti-Jewish sentiment kind of built from, is because they all owed the Jews money and they resented them for it. So it's like, fucking Jews, they run this place, and that sort of feeling just kind of.
It sounded too real there, Terry.
I was gonna say, I'm hearing Jews.
Yeah. We got clipped that one.
Fucking Jews.
No, there are people who will tell you that there is a disproportionate representation amongst the elite class of Jewish people, but I've not seen any evidence that has anything to do with any sort of conspiracy. I only just I would only suspect it because it would be more of a cultural thing than anything else. Like certain cultures value certain things from the people in them.
I see it more as the fact that they are distancing themselves from the other. It's an easy way to sit there and say, well, that person over there, I have a personal grievance against that person over there. And the way I can galvanize people, to my side is to make it everyone else's problem as well. So they look for those sorts of things that everyone can rally behind to otherize that person and then hate them. Kind of like how everyone is doing against white people right now.
Yeah.
Because white people are the devil.
Yes.
Yep. All right. Now, for
Benjamin Franklin is the devil. Sorry.
For those of you who watched last week, you'll know that Jack got upset over an article saying that AI was racist. So I will not do an article about how AI is racist this week.
But it totally is. I mean, Tay loves Hitler.
Yeah.
Have you not seen the internet historian video? Yeah.
So on to
I remember her.
So on to our next article. On sim girls and patriarchal computationalism in video games.
What?
That's right. AI is sexist.
There you go. Much better.
That's wonderful.
When I was about 14 or 15.
Oh, holy shit! I know what that image is from.
Your personal
do.
collection?
No, it's from an old Newgrounds flash. It's Sim Girl on Newgrounds. It was a Western-made flash hentai dating sim game. I think the first of its kind, actually. So it was revolutionary on Newgrounds back in the day.
You're correct, because it actually says first line of the article that it's sim girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was written by a guy, for the record.
Okay.
Oh my god, this guy's gonna be like some beta asshole, isn't he?
Black guy, no less.
When I was about 14 or 15, I played this computer game called Sim Girls. It was a story-based game where you play as a male student at Fukoma High School who was trying to get a girl to date and eventually sleep with you. At the beginning of the game, you choose what style you want to have: criminal, playful, intelligent, or casual. The goal is to increase your charm, strength, and knowledge attributes to get a girlfriend. You go up levels the more you answer your love interest questions correctly and do nice things for her: flirting, buying her gifts, talking on the phone, dating, etc. You have 100 days or energy points to do it, or you lose the game. The game is in the Bishoujo romance genre.
Bishoujo. Yeah.
That friggin' Japanese genre that became popular in Japan and other places in Asia in the 90s. Japanese cultural critic and philosopher Hiroki Azuma writes that these games follow a standard format where the player tries to win over female characters of their choice through various game systems, and if successful, they can view pornographic illustrations as a reward.
Sounds like my kind of.
I would just like to point out how sexist this game is towards men, because in it, the entire burden of maintaining the relationship is placed upon the man, whereas the woman is the object to be fawned over. And
Well, yeah, but
I
the
would just like to say that this game is sexist against women because the woman is seen as an object instead of an actual human being. Look at that! I can play this game from both directions. Now let's see what this asshole has to say.
I'm a bit embarrassed to admit I played it, but I do think it was an eye-opening experience. I'm sure it was. The game was
And a pants opening experience.
The game was a stereotypical geek masculine fantasy with hot teachers, sexual innuendos, camera angles up girls' skirts, and hentai as reward. If you build up your relationship with different girls in the game, you unlock pornographic scenes with them.
Oh dear God.
So this is called Sim Girls, is it? Let me just write that down.
Yeah, it's www.newgrounds.com. Here, I can send you a link. Yeah.
You sound
I
awfully
would
familiar
say-
with this.
I know about it because it's Newgrounds. I trolled
Newgrounds.
Newgrounds for a long
Quiz
time.
unlocked every achievement.
I think that we should all take a 10-minute rejoinder and play this game and then come back.
Say there's a sequel called Ganguro Girl.
Cool.
Achievement unlocked. Achieved all other achievements.
But as an adult and more critical player, what interests me about SimGirls is how it combines a type of computationalism with patriarchy.
What?
Borrowing
Hey, go.
from
It's in the chat. Everyone can play it. Go ahead and play it. There's a link to Sim Girls.
I would like to thank the writer of this article for introducing this wonderful game to all of our viewers. You have made this game more successful. Congratulations.
Oh God.
Borrowing from the work of David Columbia, computationalism reduces subjective experiences to computational processes, almost like it was a video game. To reappropriate Frank Pascal, it assumes that, at bottom, humans simply are patterns of stimuli and response, behavior and information. Patriarchy is a social system, enforced through explicit or implicit ideas, beliefs, attitudes, and laws. Was
Oh God. Okay, yeah. Continue.
in which men
We live in
dominate.
a society.
No. In which men dominate women. Therefore, patriarchal computationalism is a system of beliefs and attitudes that view women as objects that can be dominated by stimuli and response computation.
I like that term, patriarchal computationalism.
This author has no idea what the fuck they're saying. I'll say that right now. They don't actually know what it is they're typing, because they just heard a whole bunch of random words and just vomited onto their computer.
99.9% of every single one of these articles is that way, Jack.
That's true.
I think the author just doesn't understand what an NPC is, because they're just describing how all NPCs act.
Go look at a
I would
mirror,
just-
dude.
I wonder if there's like a game out there with like a rape fantasy, how this guy would respond to that. Like if
I'm
it's
sure there are.
just a game. Oh yeah, I'm certain there are too, but I imagine that this author would see how horrible. Nobody was raped.
And then he's zipping down his pants.
Yeah.
Yes, I get it.
With the
Well, yeah,
the sound effect.
Well, he is a male feminist.
One way it manifests would be men seeing women as a code to crack, or relationships more as a kind of algorithm where the outcome is sex, as opposed to an organic, mutual relationship. An example here would be pickup artistry, the pop cultural phenomenon where so-called pickup artists teach men various behaviorist techniques to get women to sleep with them. PUA gamifies courtship, convinces the player to optimize his chances for sex.
And if you would like to play your own pickup artist game, Super Seducer 3 will be out 2 days after Valentine's Day. Well, one day after Valentine's Day in America. 2 days after for me.
And let's not forget, everybody, women don't want sex at all. It's only the men. Got it?
Yeah.
Correct.
I would just like to say to this author that I totally agree with you. I think that no man should ever try to have sex, and I think you should lead us by example by never procreating.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt. patriarchal computationalism can be found to varying extents in things like the Her film, the Gatebox, the Gatebox, a cute girl home robot, or other video games like romance novel Nin Nin Days or sex comedy Leisure Suit Larry.
Okay, these are computer games. Games.
Leisure Suit Larry is great if you haven't played it. Go out and play like the early ones. The game, the series kind of lost its way as it went on, but the early games are great.
Yeah, the whole point in the very first Leisure Suit Larry was to get laid.
Well, all of them are to get laid.
Well, obviously, but in the first one, you can do a prostitute, and the game says, "Hey, look, you got laid," but you don't. You feel empty about it, so you have to keep going until you get up to meet the last woman in the whole game, and there you go. That's the end. But they're games. They're comedy, funny.
But I did like that if you slept with a prostitute without a condom, you died of an STD like 2 minutes later.
And when you do buy the condom, you have like 5 or 6 different kind of types that you have to select first.
Yeah, and then he loudly shouts out to everyone what kind of condoms you just bought.
And he called them lubbers, Lubber.
I just love that this guy wants organic mutual relationships in video games. How do you have an organic mutual relationship with an NPC?
Well, they're going to have to be very, very well written.
Go ask the NPCs out there; they know.
Unironically, there's actually a pickup artist video game. These games reflect what Jess Morissette describes as patriarchal play. When a game's
Wait. Frosted, before you go any further, right click and open that link in a new tab. I want to see if it's the seducer. What does Terry call it?
Super seducer.
I need to know if that's it.
It is. I guarantee you it is. No.
Here. So that you're not at risk here, Frosted. How about you link that and like? Is there a side chat on this thing on the meets?
I don't know how to do a side chat. Or, yeah, there's a side chat.
Yeah, meeting details there. Yeah.
Yeah, that looked like the game Leisure Suit Larry and something about passionate Patty in the pursuit of pulsating pectorals. I believe that was the actual title of the game.
Yeah. I think that was the third one, Leisure Suit Larry 3.
No, that would be 4. Leisure Suit Larry 3 is when he actually got dumped onto the island.
Passionate.
There is no Leisure Suit Larry 4. Al Lowe said there will never be a Leisure Suit Larry 4, and he kept his word by making it go from 3 to 5.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
All right, well, I did a find on page. I couldn't find anything about Super Seducer.
I think you followed the wrong link. Followed.
Pickup artist video game.
Go back to the article page.
Where it says pickup artist video game. That one.
Yeah.
That
It looks like it's about Super Seducer.
Teaches men how to be creeps. Oh my god.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that the game that features Mangina?
Everyone buy all 3 games in that series. It is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Mangina, the best way to pick up a woman ever.
Can I just say, what is so fucking wrong about telling men how to interact with women? There are tons of men out there who are incapable of interacting with the opposite sex. What is so wrong about giving them some helpful advice? What's bad about that? How dare you have an active social life? How dare you improve yourself so that you can interact with people in a normal and meaningful manner?
Well, you've got to remember, these people are Puritans and they don't want men having sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
No, they want sex. This person, this writer, wants sex.
Also,
They just want to go about their own psychotic manner of having sex by trying to deny it to everyone else and saying, I'm a male feminist, sleep with me, please. And then they can't have sex, and so he rapes a woman.
Okay, then.
Well, am I wrong? male feminism for you.
But at least they weren't a pickup artist.
That's true.
or a pua.
Yeah.
A PUA is a pua.
These games reflect what Jess Morissette describes as patriarchal play, when a game's narrative and ludic elements force the player to perform a prescribed set of gendered actions that reinforce existing gendered structures of power, rather than meaningfully subverting or otherwise problematizing them.
Okay, hold on. No,
Just
like
why?
most modern games, including games with explicit scenes, have options for both dude on dude and chick on chick. Are you saying that those are going to be reinforcing gender and hetero patriarchal norms? Mass Effect, you can fuck Liara.
Yes, because the female on female caters to the male gaze, and in a different way, the man on man appeals to the other kind of male gaze.
Yeah.
Men are just evil, is what it is. Okay, got it.
I mean, I played all the way through Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I got hit on by more guys than women.
Yeah. Well, you're living in Viking times. The only times more gay than Viking times are like ancient Greece.
Because bathhouses are totally straight.
To make the concept more simple, think about how a typical compliment for a man who gets a lot of women is that he has game.
Dun dun dun.
Wait, is that a thinly veiled comparison of like
Yes, it
using
is.
using urban slang to meaning video games? What the fuck is this person on?
This person has the
Yeah.
full, like, Charlie Day, red string going across the room.
Hey, now I've
Dawson,
been
this
told
is
I am the
medium.
embodiment of that meme, so I will have none of that, sir.
Well, that's just because your voice sounds slightly like Charlie Day's.
Also, that guy was really nice. He was a full-on rapist.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, there's
Now-
a clip of the guy saying he's trying to impress a woman. So he says, "I'm actually a full-on rapist," and he's like, "Did you say a full-on rapist?" Yeah, I help people and stuff.
Wow. Just wow.
Looking
But
back,
I also just real quick. Based upon what this guy's written already, you wonder if women are just nothing but pure souls who couldn't possibly ever want to go to bed with any kind of person at all, regardless of what gender they are, and that women are precious little angels that are meant to be pursued, and they could never possibly have a dirty thought in their mind. Oh, can't have that. That's too innocent.
clearly they've never
Well-
met Sun.
Shut up. You shut your mouth.
I mean, I think that's the thought, right?
Yes, that's what this guy's trying to portray. And men are nothing but a bunch of big sexual pigs that we want nothing but sex and sex only, and we'll do anything we can to get it.
Me caveman, me fuck
Yeah.
no, me fuck yes.
Me hit you overhead with club, and then sodomize you with same club. That's a big word for a caveman. Never mind. I will club rape you.
Me learns sodomize from Word a Day Dictionary.
God.
I'm getting smarter.
I just picture he goes to work at a cubicle with that word a day calendar in it.
And to use the computer, he takes his club and smashes on the keyboard.
Looking back, I think Sim Girls gave me a safe place to explore my youthful desires, anxieties, and the masculine expectations surrounding sex. Yeah, you jerked off to
Sure.
it. Just say that. Straight men grow up in a society that promotes sex as the
Oh, we live in a society.
that promotes sex as the sufficiently masculine means to love, intimacy, affection, and mutual recognition. Video games are also meritocracies in ways that real life is not. They are simple in ways that real life is complex. So games like this also give boys a sense of control over their sexual fate. In accordance to the player's input...
Sexual fate. It's written in the scrolls.
Yeah.
the scroll of
It's written in the stone, in the caveman cave drawings, like, women don't want sex, men only.
Let's see. I lost my place again.
Oops.
Sexual fate.
Yeah. All right. In accordance to the player's input, sex and all the good things attributed it is an output that cannot be denied. Okay. In a pretty on-the-nose way, SimGirls follows what theorist Robert Scholes describes as an orgasmic structure.
Oh God.
In the book,
Orgasmic structure. Okay.
Rate your orgasm here.
It was written on the orgasmic structure in the
he can suck
sexual scrolls.
Hey man, don't lean on that. That's a load bearing orgasm.
He can suck on my orgasmic structure. In the book, Play Like a Feminist, Shira Chess.
Oh God!
In other words, lose.
Yeah.
Describes it as a singular path leading towards a singular climax that completes the story. Though this is a theoretical concept, the game's mechanics and narrative makes this structure explicit. Even though men's root sexual desires can be far from harmful, patriarchal ideas can transform these desires by persuading men into seeing women as objects.
There it is.
Yeah.
You know, it just occurred to me that the book Play Like a Feminist, is that one of those books that's got like 1 or 2 pages full of text and then the rest of them, like 50 more pages, just blank? Because looking at Play Like a Feminist, how exactly would one play like a feminist and actually have it be something that people would want to see?
That's like
No,
Play
it's easy.
like a
Well,
feminist.
it's an explanation of how to complain about everything.
Oh my God! Okay, I'm looking at the cover of Play Like a Feminist right now. Okay, guess what's on the cover of Play Like a Feminist?
The
Chessboard.
words play like a feminist.
Huh?
The words play like a feminist.
Yes, there is that. But no, like, what illustration do you think is on the cover?
Is it female anatomy?
This brings me to a separate but similar topic. Okay.
I'm going to go with Anita Sarkeesian.
Is it some kind of female anatomy?
There's a crappy cartoon woman doing something really stupid.
Anita
Well, it's a little bit more
Sarkeesian.
apropos than you might think, Jack. But okay. Moonshock and Frosted, what do you guys think?
I like the Anita Sarkeesian idea that Terry had.
Okay.
Some kind
What
of
about you,
female anatomy.
Kind of okay, yeah. So the closest to get there is Jack and Frosted. So repeat what you guys just said.
It was a cartoon woman doing something really stupid.
Female anatomy.
Okay. It's a cartoon head of Medusa. Okay, now this brings me to another thing. Did you guys see the one the one sculpture that's being put somewhere in New York of Medusa holding the severed head of Perseus?
I've heard about it.
And this is supposed to be like some sort of big feminist triumph. You do know that Medusa was the vain, evil, cruel villain of that story, right, feminists?
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't want to be Medusa.
You're
in all of this.
incorrect. Medusa was female and therefore the hero.
Well, see, okay, the story of Medusa and how she became the Gorgon that turned people to stone when they looked in her eyes is the fact that she was incredibly vain, and then she was raped by a god, and then after she brought up her rape, she was cursed to become the Gorgon, right? So she's a victim, yes, but she embraces her victimhood and becomes a villain. That is literally feminism to a T. That is literally what feminism embodies.
But no, she's female, and therefore she is the hero of the story. And Perseus was the villainous man who decapitated her for no reason.
Oh, okay.
Medusa's the ultimate feminist.
Yeah,
She is really. I mean,
women,
Yeah.
but it's
women-
not a good thing to be called that. It's
It's kind of incredible how uncanny these people's ability to empathize with the villain of every single piece of media they find. Every single one. Like, watch a movie, any movie ever. The bad guy, that's who the feminists want to be.
Well, because
But,
women are
I
women.
just want to give credit to Pete in chat. He says he never met a feminist who made him turn to stone, if you know what he means.
yeah.
Well, because
Well,
women
I
are
also-
Point.
women are
Go
never
ahead.
evil; they're only empowered.
Mm.
Well, Medusa's also the antithesis of the male gaze.
Let's see. Okay. Sim Girls literally made getting the girl into a game. A set of rules you follow, inputs you do, resources you employ in order to get the win or the prize at the end. The problem is that in real life, you can execute all of these actions successfully, but the woman you are courting can still be disinterested in you. Being an
That's
intelligent...
when you use cheat codes.
Huh?
That's when you use cheat codes.
In real life,
Yeah.
this isn't a comic book written by Zoe Quinn.
No. There's this special code called Rohypnol or something like that.
Oh,
You just put that in and it works well.
okay. Wait, hold on. Is the code you need to enter BILLCOSBY?
Yes, I think that's right. I think
Yeah.
Okay.
that might be it.
It's the Konami of real life.
Exactly. The Konami code of real life.
No, his name is Kill Bosby.
Let's see. Being an intelligent, causal, but playful criminal doesn't guarantee sexual intercourse. Yet in a video game, especially one like Sim Girls, female NPCs don't have a choice, unless you, the player, decide to not play the game. Because because no NPC has a choice.
I'll have to disagree with that because in Grand Theft Auto 4, you can actually have sex with a prostitute and then kill her afterwards and take your money back.
Yeah.
Well, that's just
You can do that in any Grand Theft Auto. I mean, you can do that in Grand Theft Auto too. It's from a different perspective.
This person is trying to argue against the notion that randomness doesn't happen in video games. Guess what? If randomness happened in video games like this, people wouldn't play them because there'd be no real way to ensure winning, and that is not a fair game mechanic.
Also, like the solution...
People don't like random games. Sorry.
Like the solution to this guy's problem would basically be getting rid of all female NPCs.
Yeah.
Well, then we go back to helping people by erasing them all the way back from the first article.
Yeah.
Right.
Patriarchal computationalism says 2 + 2 must equal 4, oblivious to the fact that women aren't computers and don't run on the cold, simplistic input-output of a math equation.
I'm sorry, if you're asking a woman, 2 + 2 = 5.
2 + 2 does equal 4 unless you're in base 2, then it equals 10.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, then
No, wouldn't that be 20?
Well, yeah, it would be 20, wouldn't it? Yeah.
No, wait, it would be
It'd have
100.
to be base 3. It'd have to be
No.
base
10 would be base 4.
No.
No, if it was in base 2, 2 + 2, 2 is 10 in base in base 2, but 20 in base 2 is 100.
Look, in base 2, the number 2 does not exist. It's 1 and 0. That's what
Yes,
binary.
binary. Yeah.
Yeah, so there is no
So-
2 in base 2. So it would have to be base 3 for there to even be a 2 to add to itself.
Okay, yeah, base 3 then. Yeah. Well, no, wouldn't base 4 be that? Because base 4 would be 2 and then 2, and when 3 equals 4, it goes to 10.
In base 3, 2 + 2 = 10.
Okay.
No. In base 3, you would count 1, 2, 10, 11, 12, 20, and so on. So it would 2 + 2 in base 3 would be 11. In base 4, 2 + 2 = 10.
Are you guys done yet?
Well,
I have
Welcome
no
to the
idea.
math stream.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Me either.
All I'm going to say is Jack is completely wrong.
All right.
But let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. Let's forget that nonsense and get back to the Medium article.
Oh yes, yeah.
Since it reduces women to their social and biological processes, patriarchal computationalism robs women of their individuality and subjectivity. They become objects to be consumed for male pleasure instead of beings with their own motivations and who make their own choices about giving or denying sexual consent. The game's individual pervy aspects deserve their own scrutiny, but I'd argue that its overall design and narrative is what should get a closer look from gamers, academics, and gaming academics. Who's gaming academics?
Gaming academics. The fact that that can even be considered a thing means that you have your head so far and firmly up your own ass that there's no reaching you. I mean, there's an echo, but it's purely within the chamber that you have created for your own head.
I have a doctorate in Candy Crush. Through SimGirls, we can understand how sexism can be reified within pop culture like video games and how it gets encoded into their design. The end.
Oh, it will be if this guy doesn't knock this crap off.
All right.
My God. Patriarchal.
Computational patriarchy.
That's so. That's the
perfect
caveman
sense to
word of
me.
the day.
It made perfect sense to me. I don't know what's wrong with you guys.
Yes, of course.
All right. And with the end of the second article comes the second game, which I call Poe or No. And in this one, I'll read 3 different headlines, 2 of which are for Medium and 1 I made up. And you have to figure out which one I made up. And let's see, this one will also have a poll, which I will start now.
Mentioning SimGirls and saying it's got a poll. Got it.
All right. Headline A, letting black and brown children out of cages is a start, but only a start. Headline B, why the brutal policing of black children is domestic terrorism. And headline C, under black women's leadership, the future of America is brighter.
C looks like something that they would definitely say because of our vice president. I'm going to say A is the Poe.
Yeah, I think A is the Poe as well.
I think that B is the Poe.
Okay.
I guess I'll go with A.
Because as it has been established, for one reason or another, BLM types don't give a shit about children.
Actually, I'm going to be C just so everything's covered. All the options are covered this way.
All right. And I'll just give 10 seconds or
20.
so for the chat poll to finish.
If you want to register your votes, remember you have to do it like you see it on the screen with the exclamation point first.
All right, and with 1 vote, it looks like the audience voted for A.
Check your logic. It said both C, B, and C are fake.
And the answer is A is fake.
Oh, yeah.
You shouldn't have changed it, Terry.
I was gonna say, yeah, black and brown is the giveaway. Should have said POC.
Well, yeah, but it would have to be children of color, and that would be cock.
So they're all a bunch of little cocks. Is that what you're saying? Oh, I love the gif of Jonathan Frakes. We got you.
Yeah. I changed it so the text is easier to read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A writer made it up.
All right.
It's fiction.
Let's see. I actually have two different choices for the next article. I'm not sure which one I want to go with.
Well, which one is most triggering to Jack? Is the question.
I'll go with this one.
Anything that can get Jack to lose his shit. There you go.
All right.
I haven't really lost my shit yet tonight, have I?
Yes,
Not
I know.
yet.
We're very disappointed in you, Frosted. You have to make him lose his shit before the end of the stream.
All right. So I'll just tell you this, Jack. Yes, it's wrong to tell trans people you don't want to sleep with them because of their genitals.
The return of Riley.
No,
Every single time they say someone will say, okay, well, this is just the next domino in the series. This is the logical extension of whatever it is you were just saying, and that person will immediately go like, no, that's not what we're saying at all. That's not what we're saying. And then just 1 year later, yes, that is what they're saying. That is exactly what they're saying in no uncertain terms.
I want to know if this is going to lead to people in new dating, dating from here on out. The very first opening line is, "Do you have a penis?"
Now, I just like that this is also written by a person named Riley. That is just like the icing on the cake.
just not
Yes, that
Riley
is
Dennis.
perfect.
Riley Black.
Oh, I believe the last I heard, Riley Dennis now lives in fucking Thailand or some shit like that.
Oh, good. She's going to become a ladyboy of her dreams.
Yeah.
What is it about trans bodies that makes people feel like we deserve their unsolicited evaluations?
Stop
If
saying
you want to fuck
bodies.
them, then yes, you do. Everyone does. That's the whole point of sexual interaction. Are you kidding me? That's the opening fucking line.
You've done well, Frosted.
Quiz is showing you up, Jack. You got up your game.
I'm sorry, but
Jack.
when you invite Quiz on, I know I've been outclassed.
In the angry rants. I hadn't even started hormone replacement therapy when I started getting them. Are you doing this to get your ex back? Was one of the earliest, followed shortly thereafter by, you're going to be the best of both worlds.
Okay, hold on. Get your ex back. Did this person's ex leave them and become a lesbian?
Actually, yes.
It could be anything.
Man, that sounds like some other sort of trauma going on here, and I'm not your therapist, dude.
Can I just say, what is the? Doesn't this whole premise contradict the notion of like you have to say positive consent before having sex with someone?
Unless
Like,
you're
you know how
trans.
there's. Yeah, unless you're trans, in which case anything's on the table apparently.
Suck the dick, bigot.
Just so everyone knows, I am actually trans. I transitioned from male to male. I'm just going to assume you can do that these days.
Did you have a penis transplant?
Well, I mean, I transitioned from an adolescent male to an adult male.
Yeah.
I would just
Right,
like to say.
boy to a man.
I would just like to say that I actually did transition from male to male at one point, but then I found out that my truer self actually a male, detransitioned from male back to male.
So you're back to being a bigot.
Yeah, I know.
You horrible, oppressive bigot.
How dare you?
It's the circle of gender. The comments aren't consistent enough for me to build up a good defensive shell. Often they come from people I know, the sort of people who treat my desire to get bottom surgery with a touch of sadness, as if something is being lost, or those who
Well, something is being lost.
Yeah.
Okay. No, hold on. Okay. If you want bottom surgery, go have bottom surgery. No one gives a shit. If your friends are sitting there saying like, well, are you sure? It's a big commitment here. Because the problem is that what your friends aren't telling you is that it sounds like you are on board the trans trender train here. the triple T. So the problem is not that the fact that they are questioning your status as trans, they're questioning your commitment to it.
They're questioning your motive.
Let's see. As if something is being lost, or those who rest on that splintered crutch of, I don't understand you, but I support you. Those monsters. But as the song goes, the first cut is the deepest. I had just
What song
begun.
is that?
I don't know.
The song is called "The First Cut Is the Deepest."
Yes, or some shit like that.
I have no idea what the fuck that song is.
Once again, demonstrating that these people's understanding of culture is surface deep at best.
Oh my god, it's Sheryl Crow. That's why I don't know it. All right.
I had just begun to explore what gender meant to me, playing with nail polish, makeup, and clothing, when my partner told me that they didn't desire me anymore. This was wrapped around all sorts of meaningless qualifications about how I was still loved and a good cuddler, but my body was undesirable.
A good cuddler.
You do a good job of lying motionless next to me.
Good job, buddy.
Should I call you body bag?
My partner needed to be with a woman, and in their estimation, I wasn't one. My brain felt like it was going to tear in half. I didn't want the body I'd lived in for 35 years either, and was on the cusp of finally becoming myself, only to hear that I wasn't woman enough, that I wasn't valid, and there was nothing I could do about it.
What's this use of the phrase valid? I've heard this so much over the past few years. It is totally meaningless as far as I can tell when somebody says you're valid. What the fuck does that mean? What is the implication is that there's the possibility that a person can be invalid. What does an invalid person look like? Are they
someone who has to wear a diaper?
Well, no, a cripple.
They're called
like
invalids.
Is invalid.
Well, no, I'm just imagining like someone vanishes into the ether when you call them invalid. Excuse me, sir, you're invalid.
The term invalid does refer to like a person who can't take care of themselves. So you can't be, invalid in that sense.
Yes, they're invalid. They need to wear a diaper.
Everybody is rubber
Now we're
stamped.
explaining the joke.
Everybody's rubber stamped as a baby, and when you become invalid, they revoke the stamp.
Yeah.
So wait, this valid thing is just one giant ableist concept?
Yes, you bigot.
You're assigned valid at birth.
Yes.
It's been difficult to push those memories away after reading Kai Cheng Tom's response to the question, I'm paraphrasing, is it transphobic for lesbians not to want to have sex with trans women?
No.
Hi, Riley.
If you haven't read the piece already, go on and click over. I'd rather not. Kai doesn't run straight at the question, but unpacks it. Going through the layers about sex and eroticism in America is totally fucked up. Not to mention that trans woman does not automatically mean woman with a penis. And making a show...
Oh, really?
What?
It could be a woman who had a penis.
I mean, I wouldn't want to take the risk.
No.
I think that Riley Dennis would beg to disagree.
It doesn't mean woman with a penis. It can also mean woman who had a penis and then surgically removed it. So,
Or inverted it.
Yeah. Well,
And making a show of who you're not attracted to is really kind of weird to start with. But I could.
Who's making a show about it? No one's making a show about it, all right?
No,
Everyone who's
the
sitting there saying,
authors.
I don't want to fuck you, is saying, we're getting into a serious romantic relationship here, and if you do not have the parts that I am attracted to, I don't want to have sex with you. Why is that a bad thing? In fact, actually, if you're saying my body, my choice, or any of those other kind of platitudes, you should be championing that mindset, should you not?
No. You misunderstood. Her body, her choice. Your body, her choice. It's very consistent.
Oh, okay. Got
Yeah.
it. Suck the dick, you bigot.
Quiz. Sexuality is a construct. Okay.
I
Suck-
forgot.
suck-
I forgot.
Suck the dick, bigot. Eat the bugs, bigot. Live in the bubble, bigot.
Suck the orgasmic structure. But I couldn't quite.
Just don't touch that. Just don't touch that pillar. It's a load-bearing orgasm.
This was all foretold in the sexual scrolls.
I mean, many orgasms do bear a load, but yeah.
In the sexual fate, Jack. Sexual.
God.
Yeah, sorry. It was faded in the sexual scrolls.
Oh my god.
But I couldn't quite leave the thread alone. Kai did a great job at fielding a difficult question, attempting to build a bridge, but I just don't feel the same way. Why does this get to be a question? Why, once again, do trans people have to show patience and restraint in the face of the pernicious stereotype that biology is destiny and we're somehow fooling ourselves by altering it?
Because you just answered your own question, you
Well,
freaking moron.
No. Okay, to be fair, no, you don't have to answer it. You just your indignance to answering the question just proves that you are a cunt.
Basically.
Not yet. They haven't had the surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not altering your biology. Your biology is identical. Guess what? Strapping on a pair of fake tits is not the same as actual tits. I'm sorry. They're not. It's not, or it's not biology. How are these surgeries biological in nature other than pure cosmetics? Does anyone want to explain that to me?
It is purely cosmetic, and what it is. Okay, the problem is with all these people that are trying to be trans activists and stuff like that is that they're going under the illusion that tolerance is acceptance, and that say here we're getting real here for a second, that they think tolerance is acceptance, and that regardless of what all other factors may be involved, no matter what you say, you need to kowtow to their logic, their line of thinking, their feelings is another big one. And you know, it's cringy in 2016 to sit there and say facts don't care about your feelings. I don't give a shit about Ben Shapiro, but he's
not wrong.
The problem is that it's not about facts. It's not about feelings. It's the fact that you are dictating to other people how they should think, act, and feel. You don't get that. You don't get to do that. You don't. Period. Exactly. You know, it might suck to sit there and say, well, you know, it suck to think, especially with these kinds of people that, you know, well, if you don't accept me, then you're a bigot. Guess what? People, by and large, are going to be confused and dismissive of you, especially when you are offering nothing but condemnation for not accepting your line of thinking and giving nothing in return. At that point, you are a selfish prick and you can go fuck yourself. That is exactly what everyone is pushing against you for. Every single person. Don't like it? Quit trying to espouse these sorts of things and making people think the way that you want them to. Well, simple as that.
They're attributing motive to thought process. Guess what? If I approach a problem at a different angle than you, I'm not approaching it that way because I'm evil. I'm approaching it because it's a problem and I have a different way of solving it. That's all there is to it. If I come out with a different answer, it doesn't mean I'm evil. It just means I thought about it differently. Now, if you can see that answer and actually find if you can find the actual inherent evil in the thing that I said, that's one thing. But if I'm just saying, okay, well, I see things this way, and I want a generally good solution for everyone. It's just that my good solution doesn't track with your good solution, or in this case, what I think is actually a pretty terrible solution. You cannot assume bad motive to me. It's not enough. You don't have sufficient evidence to do so.
Stop making
If
sense.
that makes
Jack.
any sense at all.
Yeah. To quote the
Stop making
Talking
sense.
Heads.
That's going against the message that this article is supposed to be putting out there. So stop it.
Yeah, you bigot.
Fucking bigot. I can't believe I'm on this show with such bigots.
I know. I'm a terrible bigot.
Yes, you are.
I'm gonna have to go sit it in the corner of the corner.
The double corner.
Go sit by those homeless people. We're supposed to be educating.
If you want to proclaim, I don't want to sleep with any non-op or pre-op trans woman, you can do so, but that's a transphobic opinion. Not only that, but the entire question is reducing someone to their genitals, the very thing many feminists and lesbians have strived so hard to scrub out of our patriarchal culture.
No.
And there it is. I would say I'll provide the A1 sauce. You want to eat each other? Cool, go ahead. Because this is the sort of thing that the sort of line of thinking when it comes to the I'm right, you're wrong. I will hear no opinion to the contrary. This is what it gets you. All right.
Well,
Or try and argue. I challenge a feminist to try and argue this point.
the problem is they're talking about third wave feminism. The first and second waves have nothing to do with this shit.
Well, there were plenty of things wrong with first and second wave as well, but
True, but the latest is all of this crap here that this likes to talk about.
yeah.
You know, it's completely it's stupid. This person just wants to bitch just for the sake of bitching.
Well, no, they're bitching because they can't get laid
Well, that's true.
as a trans woman lesbian.
Yes.
Which is totally different from an incel.
Oh yes.
Is this persistent query really that different from the parts of cishet culture that make us roll our eyes? The focus.
Oh, you're getting condemned like cishet. Oh man,
Ooh.
that means that you fucked up in some sort of way. You're getting compared to cishet.
That's low.
Oh man, yeah.
The focus on big everything and intercourse undeservedly being synonymous with sex. Intercourse being
What?
synonymous with sex.
Hold on. Intercourse is
Intercourse
synonymous with sex.
being synonymous with sex.
Right.
They are.
They're the same thing.
They are synonymous. They mean literally the same thing.
They're the same thing. This is sex and gender all over again. They're the same thing. They're the same thing.
We're inventing words again, right? Reinventing them now.
They're the same thing. They're the same thing.
It's
Okay,
Black
wait,
people and people of color. Black people and people of color are the same thing.
Oh, no.
We have to qualify here. Okay. The verb sex and intercourse
Yeah.
is the same thing.
Yes. And the description of a person's like genitalia sex is the same as gender. I don't give a shit what bullshit definition some asshole in some college somewhere wrote about in a journal and it got published and never peer reviewed by anyone. I don't give a shit about what they said. They're the same thing. And these two things, they're the same thing. And black people and people of color, they're the same thing. These are all the same things. And you're making up differences that don't exist because you need something to fuel your idiotic worldviews. You need something to provide propulsion to the constant stream of verbal diarrhea that pours out of you at all hours of the day. What in flying fuck is wrong with you people? You keep just taking two words that mean the same thing and just make it, oh, well, they're different because I said so. Fuck you.
Dante says, damn, I thought it was synonymous with making potatoes.
It's the same mistake in different packaging. The focus on what's between someone's legs not only erases the whole person, but reinforces the idea that sexuality exists in inviolate categories where...
Okay, wait, hold on. This person just immediately, okay, our entire diatribe right there saying sex and intercourse are synonymous is the fact that we did qualify sex being a verb. What did they immediately do? Jump to the noun. You're not comparing apples and apples here. You're comparing apples and oranges, cunt.
Hey, they both have seeds, okay?
But reinforces the idea that sexuality exists in inviolate categories, where who you fuck also has to match a certain standard of what you fuck with. It's this twisted logic that if you feel desire for someone outside your preferred label system, it somehow disqualifies you.
It's not just a label, it's a penis.
It's a descriptor. Okay, if you say that you're a lesbian, then the connotative function is that you are attracted to women. And then the description of what constitutes a woman is, by very definition, sex. Okay, the noun version of sex. So saying that you're a lesbian and then saying that you're attracted to a woman while being a woman is the same thing. You're having a lot of leeway by saying that you're a trans woman, all right? But the problem is that you do not fit the criteria of being a lesbian by saying you have a penis. Because having a penis means that you, functionally speaking, have male genitalia and are trying to have sex with a woman with female genitalia. That necessarily means that you are having a heterosexual relationship by virtue of its terminology. All right. Now, if you want to get into like societal, pressures or whatever, that is purely on an individual basis. If you find a woman who sits there and says, yeah, I don't care if you have a dick, cool. But you cannot shame another person, especially if they identify as a lesbian, as an actual biological woman, for saying, I don't like dicks.
This is insane, because this is exactly, anyone could have predicted this from a mile away when they started making the distinction between sex and gender as concepts, because the automatic assumption is you're going to try to erase sex because it's the thing that you don't like. And so any words that have the connotation of sex baked into the cake, like lesbian, are immediately going to get, oh, well, no, we're just talking about gender. That's not what lesbian refers to. Refers to vag on vag, bitch. It doesn't refer to dick on vag in any scenario. I'm sorry, but that is inherent in the description.
Except Riley and Fiona, they are a lesbian couple.
Yeah.
It refers to biological sex. And guess what? Nowadays, I don't see why we can't just ask someone, oh, what's your gender? No, how about sex? That's the thing that we're all interested in, and it is the actual physical term that you have set out. You have given us these terms. You have made this distinction, and now you're just trying to erase the very concept of sex itself, and that's bullshit.
See also the hatred bisexual people and bisexual lesbians in particular face from inside the queer community. Wait, how can you be a bisexual lesbian?
You can't.
Well, let's not dwell on that.
But like you can have lesbian sex as a bisexual, so I think that may be what they're talking about. But no, bisexuals do have a lot of stigma within the LGBT community. But here's the thing, right? If you want someone to go with, look for a bisexual. Don't look for a lesbian.
Yeah,
because a bisexual is going to be accepting of the fact that you have a dick.
It's hilarious because these people are so awful towards bisexual, yet the bisexual is by definition the least discriminatory of every single possible matchup you can get. That person is the least discriminatory. Jesus Christ.
Of course, we are all the navigators of our own desire. We're the only people who can detect and understand who we're attracted to. There's no.
Was that the sequel to Flight of the Navigator?
Oh,
We're gonna navigate our desire. Just don't look in the theater.
See you later, navigator.
old people. All right.
Shut up.
There's no should argument that would be okay here. I would never tell anyone who they should be attracted to. But that is literally
But
how
that
the
entire
paragraph
last
is.
phrase was bullshit.
But
But you totally would.
focusing
and
on,
is going to.
focusing on what genitals a trans femme has, especially when someone else is using it to determine whether she's valid or belongs in a particular category, is an extension of the violence we live with every day.
Violence.
Violence!
Violence. It's violence, folks. Violence.
man.
Are you kidding me?
Suck
How-
the
how-
dick or you're violent.
God,
Yeah.
fucking damn it. God, but how much has that word been absolutely taxed within our society over the last
Oh, we live in a
Don't say
society.
Don't say it.
We live in a society.
I knew it. As I said. That word has been butchered. That word has been utterly butchered. It doesn't resemble anything anymore. What the hell is violence? Dude, what is the minimum barrier for entry for something to be considered violence? Do I have to just
Disagreement.
look in
Well,
your
see,
general direction?
The problem is that there's the clause on violence where it's threat of physical harm. Threat of physical harm. When someone is such a weeping violet that literally anything that anyone says that is contrary to their values and opinions can be considered by them erroneously to be a threat of imminent harm. Yes, literally everything is violence to them.
Okay.
So the problem comes down to the terminology being used.
I'm just waiting for
Jesus
the
Christ.
not sucking dicks is what led to the violence at the Capitol. That's what I'm waiting for.
Well, I don't know. Baked
word-
Alaska was there. I'm sure he'd be perfectly fine with sucking some dicks.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyone else just kind of do a double take like Baked Alaska? What the fuck? Why? Why is he even there? I know why he's there, but Jesus Christ, why do I need to hear this man's name ever again? He wasn't even relevant when he was relevant.
I don't know. Let's see. It's the same logic that conservative politicians use to try to ban us from bathrooms on sports teams. The same argument behind the leers and very real violence we face. The ways disgust filters through to what jobs we can hold, where we can live, and yes, who will see us as potential partners, and not just a particular arrangement of parts.
Now, okay, here's the thing. I've said it very, very long and very, very adamantly that I'm not a conservative. I do not hold a majority of my beliefs with conservatism. What about that one guy that found his way into a women's changing room in Target in Palatine, Illinois, who then started taking pictures of the women over the top of the stalls while they were changing. And the reason why he got in there was because he claimed to be trans.
And you're saying that's wrong.
Yes, I am. I'm saying that's wrong.
That's very
It's very wrong.
transphobic, Quiz.
It
He's
is
a
very.
He's a trans voyeur. Thank you.
How dare you?
Trans
sir?
voyeur.
You're
Trans
gross.
voyeur more than meets the eye.
No, check. I don't think that was Jessica Yaniv. I think Jessica Yaniv was the one. Wasn't she the one who was like going into the girls' bathroom and like making oogly eyes at the other girls or something like that?
No,
I think so. Yeah, up in
he was.
Canada.
Well,
He
what
was.
he was
Yeah,
doing.
this was an actual story in a Target in Palatine, Illinois.
Well, the thing with Jessica Yaniv, as far as I remember, was she was asking people to show her how to put a tampon in, and offering them advice, like in case they were doing it wrong or something. It was something about showing little girls how to put a tampon in. That's what was
Yeah.
the creepy thing about her.
And
Well,
also-
one of the
And
creepy.
And
the
also,
weird pageant thing, did she have something to do with weird creepy little girls pageants or something?
There was a top
Without-
contest There's a topless swimming party. Parents not invited.
Yep, that's right.
they set up. And as Dark Resurrect points out in chat, they also did the if you don't wax my balls, then I will sue you.
Yeah.
For discrimination, yeah.
Yeah, a beautician for women, and Jessica claims to be a woman, so you have to wax the balls, bigot.
It was even worse than that. It was a Brazilian wax too. So you're getting right in there. You're getting all up in the gooch.
What happened to this person to make them act like a complete psychopath? What happens to these people that makes their brain just so utterly broken and disgusting and makes me wish we had the death penalty in this state?
The problem really comes from the fact that the logic breaks down and no one calls them on it because they hold all of the cards to be able to sit there and we've been sitting here joking all night, suck the dick, bigot, and shit like that. But the fact that they hold that card, that is a thing that is being said, is the problem. That is the problem. If all of their power in calling out these sort of arbitrary claims against people, it was taken away, then people would see them for what they really are.
Quiz,
Lunatic.
You're wrong. They don't have any institutional power. Didn't you know?
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, they can't be sexist.
It's not necessarily institutional power. It's societal power.
Society.
Notice I didn't say that we live in one. But
hypothetically.
no, the hypothetically, no, it really is societal power because the mob mentality immediately kicks in because no one wants to be discriminated against, and everyone will rally against the person that is claiming to be discriminating. Everyone will. That's just human nature.
Yep.
All right.
So they're using a primal sort of visceral reaction within the human nature as a bludgeon to beat people over the head to accept their far out crazy sort of logic.
Yeah, they effectively found a sort of cheat code in the human psyche, and they're using it for all it's worth.
Yes.
If I were to pick almost any characteristic a person had and said, is it wrong if I don't want to date a person like that? Honestly, I'd feel like a bit of an asshole. And as Kai points out, the reality... Huh?
Why? Saying, I don't like women with freckles. It's not to say that I do, or that I do
You bastard.
Not like. No, I'm not saying I do. Okay, I'm just this is just an example.
Jack is a woman with freckles.
I have no other problems with women. I just require that you have a vagina. But say someone has that opinion. There's nothing wrong with holding that opinion. Just because you do not find that attractive means that you don't find that attractive. It's not indicative of you being a discriminatory bastard for not wanting to fuck women that have freckles.
Well, in the literal definition of discriminatory, I mean, yes, it is in that you discriminate against women who have freckles versus women who don't have freckles.
Okay. Here's the big thing, right? Yes, it is discriminatory, but it is a positive sense of discrimination, if you get what I mean, because it's essentially the modus of what everything is boiling down to is the fact that you are offering yourself up to the most intimate act that you can possibly share with another human being, period. And to meet those criteria for that intimate act, there are a lot of other factors that need to be involved. Some that do have baggage when it comes to physical appearance and some that don't. I mean, you could be the hottest woman in the world, but if you're an utter cunt, then people are going to sit there and say, I mean, I'd hit it and quit it, but I'm not going to have a long-lasting relationship with you because you're a cunt. But, that's the sort of... level that we're talking about here, especially when it comes to the most intimate thing that you can possibly do with another person. So when it comes to that, you're allowed to be discriminatory because you are looking to offer up something of yourself as well as gain something from someone else.
The problem is that the word discrimination has also been very taxed within our. I didn't say it.
Society.
You almost
It
no,
has been
it's-
very heavily taxed in modern times, and the
It's-
thing is that it's not inherently a bad thing to discriminate. It
Well,
is dependent
it's very-
largely upon. It is dependent largely upon personal perception and not necessarily upon malevolence.
it's
whether
contextual. It's contextual is what it is.
Yes.
Because if you're discriminating, say, in the hiring process, that you're not hiring someone because they are black, then yes, that is bad discrimination. If you are not choosing to offer up your body in terms of the most intimate thing that you can share with another person, which should be championed for these people that are supposedly against rape, right? Then yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, because you are actively not allowing yourself to be put in a situation where you are being victimized or compromised in some sort of situation. And men can do it. Men can be victims of it too.
No, it's not rape. It's just becoming a reluctant ally.
I forgot. All right. That's a good point.
And as Kai points out, the reality is that trans and cis women...
Who is this Kai person? Fuck this Kai person.
I don't know. I think it's a Mortal Kombat character. But
Oh, okay.
the reality is that trans and cis women have much more in common in dealing with men than not. No one is forcing anyone to date or sleep with trans people if they don't wish to. But saying ew to someone just because their genitals don't match what you think they should, or what you like, is beyond immature. The disgust only bolsters the same oppressive and controlling bullshit that we all want to end.
Wait, hold on. If you don't like the dick and find out someone has a dick and you go, ew, isn't that a natural reaction?
Yes,
What is this
naturally
person
immature.
on
If
about?
I don't-
They're immediately contradicting themselves with the very next sentence.
No. It's they say you are if you don't force yourself to have rape with someone, it is oppressive.
Rape.
If you don't effectively force self-rape upon yourself, then you are being an oppressor.
Oh, okay.
What?
I'm okay with being an oppressor then.
Yep.
Well, that also sounds to me
Black
like
man
this
oppressor.
person-
Why, thank you.
Sounds to me like
Oppress
this-
me up.
If it's being an
It sounds to
oppressor
me
or
like this
sucking a
person is
dick, I'll take being an oppressor.
Right. And it sounds to me like these people are trying to say, well, you have a dick? Oh, well, I guess that's okay. Even though I have no interest whatsoever in dick. But you've got one. But I love you, so I guess I'm just supposed to accept it since you never told me. So yeah, I'm not gonna say ooh, I'm just gonna say, oh, isn't that so nice? A little penis to play with. No, I'm sorry, that's not gonna happen. This guy is stupid. He needs to shut the hell up.
Frosted, I was just thinking the next time somebody responds to you linking their article on Twitter, you should actually send them to this video just to see what happens. Although then again, that you would get your channel taken down, so there would be that, but you would have the satisfaction of them knowing exactly what it is you think about them.
But like I said, someday I'm just going to be like, hey, I have a show where we look at articles like yours. Do you want to come on it?
Oh no!
You had mentioned Kai and Mortal Kombat. I'm thinking, is there a new finishing move called a transality?
Oh,
I don't think very many characters wear a skirt to lift it up, and then the other person just goes ah and runs away.
All right, last paragraph. Trans women and cis lesbians don't need to be at odds with each other. Many of us are not. And while there are important and sometimes difficult conversations to have, that doesn't mean that every talking point has to be greeted or treated with tolerance.
Wait, what's a cis lesbian? That doesn't make any sense. That's a contradiction in terms.
No. Cis lesbian is a woman who identifies as a woman and only likes other women.
Oh, for God's sake. Okay.
The implication that trans women are men in disguise and a lesbian sleeping with a trans woman would technically make that lesbian bisexual, as if there were anything wrong with being bi, is frankly gross.
Then go for bi women. Why are you trying to sleep with lesbians?
Oh, wait, I only have one thing to say about that. Ew.
It just reminds me of the old Seinfeld episode. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
People can hold gross opinions if they want, but we don't need to be gentle in response. The whole question of whether trans women are acceptable to sleep with is hateful, and honestly often feels more like a show than a real question. Because I can tell you one thing for sure. Someone who wants to know what's between my legs before they know me isn't getting anywhere near my bedroom.
So there's so I very highly doubt that this person is going to have any intimate relationships in the near future, because that is kind of a deal breaker for 99.9% of the people.
Yeah, this
just
is a
bit.
permanent simp.
All right, and now it's time for the last game of the day, which is for the chat only. And that
Yeah,
is
that's right. Chat only, folks. Don't you dare! Don't you even dare think about playing this game.
And that is the caption contest, where I'll put up a photo of a political figure, event, something like that, and whoever in chat comes up with the best caption for it, I'll tweet out after the show. And this week's photo, it's not a very new photo, but it's become more relevant now that good old Andrew Cuomo is in the spotlight in a bad way.
What the hell is that in his hand?
I believe that's a comically large Q-tip.
I was gonna say it looks like a giant Q-tip.
Well, the joke was that he's got a big nose.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, he does. Look at the size of his nostrils. Good lord.
All right.
I mean, it also reminds me of like the old American gladiators. He's got a gigantic pugil stick and it's in the shape of a Q-tip. Yes, I'm old. Thank you.
All right, so people in the chat, try and come up with the best caption for it. Yeah, I'll give about 90 seconds or so.
No, Mom always said that I got the looks in the family.
And as usual, I have to time out Jack.
Oh.
I think it needs to be a permanent ban. He just keeps breaking the rules.
He's a rebel.
Without a cause.
Hey, that was funny, damn it.
Well, no one knows what you said.
Funny.
No one even knows what you said because it's been erased from history.
Yep.
Down the memory hole.
Erased from existence.
My ass got 1984 over here.
The memory
Stop
hole.
breaking the rules, and we'll stop punishing you.
We need some more audience participation here, guys.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Willa Forge is going to win by default.
Hey, if there's only one entry, it makes my job a lot easier when it comes to picking who to vote for.
There's 2 entries.
There
No,
was not 2 entries.
There's only one, the legitimate entry so far. Oh, no, we have another
My
one.
entry was good.
He broke your good china. He says with a giant Q-tip.
All right.
All right, only about 20 seconds left.
Get in quick.
Well, so far, I think Cynics is the best.
Well, not a lot of entries, which is
I want to know what the fuck the context is. Why is he holding up a comedically sized Q-tip as if he were a prop comedian?
Because he was trying to be a prop comedian. The whole joke was that the first time Andrew Cuomo got the COVID test, they used a normal Q-tip, but it didn't fit. And then Chris keeps getting bigger and bigger Q-tips. The joke being that this is what was required to actually fit that giant nose of his.
Okay.
See, my mind immediately went to the anal swab thing they were talking about the other day.
Well, this sketch is a long time before that anal thing came up. That's only recent. This is an old photo.
Oh, and of course,
I like
of course,
boiled potatoes.
yeah.
And I shoved this up his ass, and that's how Don became my best friend.
Damn it! Everyone's stealing my fucking joke.
Oh, you didn't make a joke, so how can they?
I was say, yeah, and you didn't reference Don Lemon being gay in it, so
I didn't see any entry from Jack Gunsky. Where'd it go? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very gaslighted over here.
Jack Gunsky prohibited. I love the
Yeah.
He keeps breaking the rules.
All right. So, what do you guys think is the best one of the options?
I like the good China one.
I like devolved potatoes.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go cynic.
I think I'd have to go with potato.
Ooh. We need a tiebreaker.
Who hasn't voted? Jack?
Jack Gunsky is not the vice president of this stream, I don't think.
I'm gonna go with mine, which does exist.
No, it doesn't.
Fine, I'll go with the Vol potato.
Oh.
All right. And this week's winner is Evolved Potato. So, I'll just copy that down so I can tweet it out later. All right. Okay. And now it's time for the final article of the night.
Oh dear God.
Stop using lube during penetrative vaginal sex.
Excuse me.
Then quit
Oh.
saying yes when you're not in the mood, bitch.
Well, apparently this woman doesn't know how to use vowels either. Girl poor.
Girl poor.
Is that
Girl poor.
is that an anatomically correct size of her vagina?
Yes,
If
she
so,
took
it
them
takes a
over.
lot of vaginal mucus to get that thing wet. So yeah, I can understand why she needs Astroglide.
Is that a vagina or a bowling lane?
It's an archery
They
target.
they take a giant, like one of those 3-gallon buckets full of this stuff and just throw it at her. Whatever sticks, there it is.
Come drop your golf pencil down our mine shaft.
I was raped by a giant.
Whose pleasure are you prioritizing? By Nadege.
I go back to my initial response. Then stop saying yes when you're not in the mood.
Lube can be an excellent way to stimulate a clitoris, a penis, or ease into anal sex. Yet when lube is used as a band-aid to help a penis penetrate a dry vulva, we might just be preserving rape culture. Now, if you are someone who experiences chronic vaginal dryness...
We're talking about people who talk about the Star Wars Expanded Universe?
I feel like that's the start to a commercial.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like the start to like a medication. If you experience chronic vaginal dryness, be sure to try... I don't know.
if you experience chronic vaginal dryness, stop going to Star Wars conventions.
Yeah, stop being a feminist. There you go.
I'm just picturing Ben Stein for dry, itchy vaginas.
Try
clear badge.
red clitoris.
Try this.
Wow.
So chronic vaginal dryness, which is common during/after menopause or due to a medical reason. This article is not referring to you. Lube can be a phenomenal aid for chronic vaginal dryness. But what about when your vulva remains dry during arousal, but your partner is ready for penetration? Is it really in your best interest to slap on some lube and make your body continue?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, it is. You
If you
answered the
said
question.
yes, then yes.
The context of the answer is in your question.
When lube is marketed to people, especially people with vulvas, it can be sold as
People with vulvas.
Also known as women.
People,
no,
people
there's
with
no such thing.
vulvas.
That's true.
It
A
can be
writer made it up.
Vulva bearers.
yeah, it can be sold as a hack that helps vulva owners have penetrative sex when they are dry.
What if I'm a vulva renter? Does it not apply to me?
What if I'm a Volvo owner? Is that close enough?
Well, that explains your vaginal dryness.
Oh.
After
Why you
eight-
gotta fuck him in a very uncomfortable place. Aha! Kevin Smith joke.
After 8 years of studying sex, and many more years of having it, it's my professional opinion that this is one way we should not be using lube during sex. Again, this is my opinion, and it can be a controversial one. My goal is not to change your mind, but to help you understand a new point of view that helps you make educated decisions about sex. Problem number 1. We are not educated about sex from the perspective of pleasure. Legally, only 17 states in the USA are required to teach medically accurate sex education. Across the world, this trend is just as bad, if not worse. This means that it is normal to be uninformed or miseducated about your body, your sexuality, and the sex you are currently having. Like right now while reading the article. Not only is sex education radically unscientific, but it is hardly ever introduced through the lens of pleasure. This is
The
a big
lens of pleasure.
Yep.
Lens of pleasure.
Why
Is that
does
usually the
every-
camera that's filming pornography?
This is like the 4th time tonight they've been using these terms that are just so absolutely cold and calculated to describe sexual intercourse.
Well, I mean, you have to wonder is if it is in their sexual fate. I mean,
What are you
It
doing?
is.
I'm
It was
looking for the
foretold in the scrolls.
The lens of pleasure is not a lie.
the lens of pleasure is how the fates are able to write down your sexual fate in the scrolls.
The sexual fate must be read using the lens of pleasure.
Is the lens of pleasure that magnifying glass that they're doing when they're looking up shit?
But if you're transgender, does that mean you have transition lenses?
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Now, where was the slide whistle with that one?
Hold on. Sorry.
This is a big deal. When we do not teach youth or adults about sex through the lens of pleasure, we perpetuate rape culture. A pleasure-centered conversation about sex teaches people about sexual sovereignty and body autonomy. Essentially, that sex should feel good, and when it doesn't, it's healthy to provide feedback or say, no thank you. Discussions about sex. What?
That doesn't feel good. No, thank you.
Yeah, your vagina's got the grit of a freaking piece of sandpaper, so
Mhm.
thanks.
At least it's 600 grit, you know. It's very, very
Yes.
fine. Very fine.
Yes,
Very close.
because I want my dick to come out shiny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a different way of saying polishing your knob.
Exactly.
I mean, it will end with like a coat of lacquer on it, you know.
Well, it's good. I want to preserve my penis.
Discussions about sex that are based on pleasure teach us how to discuss sex with other people in empowering ways. Medically accurate sex education could also provide context that would reduce slut-shaming. For example, experts have proven that sex is not a reproductive behavior. which would mean that
What?
It most certainly is.
I was
It
gonna
is-
say that's kind of the point of it, but okay.
It's basically the only one, short of artificial insemination.
Yeah, was this
Well, no, I
person-
mean, like that's the instant gratification for the act of sex, right? The act of sex is for procreation, but the instant gratification is that it also feels good. That's the claptrap, right? It's like I don't want to have kids, but sex feels so good.
This person was grown in a test tube, obviously, and the glass in the test tube was obviously the lens of pleasure.
That's the future for you. Everyone has to have a test tube babies because sex is offensive inherently.
Yeah, it's like in Demolition Man. They don't have sex anymore. Everybody's just grown somewhere in a lab.
All right.
Welcome, Sunburst! Yay, she's here. Don't forget, darling, we have a lens of pleasure now.
Yes.
Son, you
It
missed
was
that.
foretold in the sexual scrolls.
Son, you missed that sex is not a reproductive behavior. So, which would mean that our urge to have sex is driven by a primal need to reproduce, an idea that is commonly accepted and passed around by religious societies that attempt to control women's bodies.
All right, what's it for then, if not for that?
Instead, the latest research explains that sex is a social behavior. We feel urges to have sex because of social instincts that drive us to experience arousing social situations. This means that wanting to have sex is normal, fantasizing about sex is normal, and having sex for fun is normal. Imagine how silly it would be to slut-shame people if we learned this fact about sex. It is my...
I think that sounds pretty stupid, to be honest. I think sex serves its reproductive purpose, and that is why it is enjoyable. The reason that we evolved to find it enjoyable is because nature needs a way to incentivize people to seek out that activity. Otherwise, the species dies off. You don't have sex as a social, hey, I'm Terry, let's have a quickie. Now I know you really... It's not the next step after hello. It's not a...
I could see you getting just drowning in gas from that opening line, Terry.
Nice pickup line. I'm Terry. Let's go quickie.
Well, if they watch Clippers United, then maybe they'll be interested, because there's discussion about a certain body part of mine and its capabilities. So
It is my educated belief that if sex education curriculums were based on pleasure and science, they would interrupt rape culture and lead to more fulfilling sex lives for humans.
How are they not based on science?
Oh my god.
They absolutely are. When they sit there and say the semen and fertilizes the egg, and that is how a zygote is formed. That is literally fucking science, you dumb cunt.
It is literally fucking science.
I mean, I wasn't going for that, but it's a happy accident. Like most sex, but
babies are delivered by the stork. Every child knows this.
Yes.
That is the scientific method of creating more babies, is wait for the stork. Sex is just this nasty business that serves no function. That's what I'm getting from this.
The next section, she's just talking about how doctors don't learn enough about sexuality. So I'll just skip.
What?
I love the.
How does that? Well, hold on. Doctors don't learn enough about sexuality. Why does that matter?
Oh, we're getting an echo from someone.
Terry, you're feedbacking.
Why am I?
No, Terry is.
Oh.
It has his microphone too close to the audio source.
Okay.
Oh.
But yeah, how does sexuality factor into that? Like at all? That makes no sense.
Apparently, it's that they don't have to take a class specifically on sexuality.
See, I love the title that person used. She's a sexologist.
I majored in sexology. I've got a PhD.
At least they didn't call themselves a sexpert.
Sexpert.
All right. What does this have to do with lube? Given that
One hell of a sentence there, Frosted.
Yeah,
Somebody clip that. It's like, what does this have to do with lube?
what does this have to do with lube? Followed by, how about a quickie?
Yeah,
And looking through it through the lens of pleasure.
yes, as foretold in the in your sexual fate
The scrolls.
on the scrolls.
Given that the average person is not educated about sex and the average medical professional has a gap in their sexual knowledge, where do we learn about sex? Through dominant cultural narratives.
They didn't qualify that. What gap is there in their knowledge when it comes to being an expert? Biological sex has very limited function when it comes to talking about how your act outside in the bedroom qualifies what happens with your doctor. That doesn't make any... Unless you're talking about reproduction or sexually transmitted diseases, doctors need to have no education about sexuality. Period.
Now, I mean, clearly they do. Otherwise, they wouldn't have written that part.
Yeah, my optometrist friend tends to disagree with you.
Maybe they're talking about Pakistani doctors who are now going to get a whole bunch of new gender studies courses.
Yeah.
Ah.
One harmful component of dominant culture is the idea that sexual pleasure is for men, purity is for women, and queer people are sexually deviant.
Okay.
Now, here's a good way to start a paragraph. Enter penetration.
Enter
penetration.
The act that
Exit light. Enter penetration.
That's what I immediately thought of. You beat me to it, you bastard.
After never land. Enter penetration.
That's what I call my penis.
You named your penis after a place where kids never grow old?
Well,
No, kids never grow up.
well, I mean, I never grow up to
FBI
kids, so
just
that's
showed
okay. Yeah.
Hey, the FBI is showing up to my house, so I'll see you later.
Bye, Jack.
Drop the slide whistle. All right. Enter penetration, the act that most humans would label as real sex. Since men have been given permission to enjoy sexual pleasure for centuries, the script for a real sex was written from the perspective of male pleasure.
So, given permission to... Mommy, can I enjoy sexual pleasure? Yeah, it's okay, son. Yes, that's fine. Do you have to ask for permission to enjoy sex? You're like, so am I allowed to enjoy it tonight, honey? No, you just fucking lay there.
It's 10 p.m. It's time for your dick flattening.
Yes.
This means that we were all taught to prioritize penetration during sex, and that all other acts are foreplay, aka the warm-up for penetration. If women rule the world, want to bet that what?
Stop saying penetration so much.
This person loves penetration, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Literally.
If
And figuratively.
If women ruled the world, want to bet that penetration would be post-play?
No, actually, I would very much disagree with that, because there are some women out there who, when you give them a whole lot of foreplay, all of a sudden, guess what? They might not be able to, because you've given them so many freaking orgasms with foreplay. That's like, no, I'm done. You're not going to get anywhere with me anymore, because it's closed up like a fucking bank vault. So,
And meanwhile, the
there you go.
species dies out.
Yes. What happened? Too much foreplay. Oh.
Note that in this author's desirable view of sex, men aren't allowed to experience any pleasure at all. Just saying.
Well, some guys say, I pleasured myself while reading this article. Did I have your permission to do so?
In a society where penetration is...
We live in a society!
Society and penetration.
In a penetrative society.
Ooh.
Penetration.
In a society where penetration is thought to be the purpose and culminating act of sex, vaginal dryness morphs into a serious problem. We may wonder, if penetration didn't occur because my vulva was dry, is this my fault? Enter lube, which feels like the solution.
Exit night, interlude. Stop saying enter something. Creepy.
Stop saying penetration.
Enter penetration.
Alright. Rather than asking ourselves if our body is ready for penetration, we reach for lubrication.
How do you gauge that? Is there like a little fucking thing that says, I am ready for penetration now? Is there a scale you have to follow?
Well, apparently, if this author got together with the author of our second article, they would learn from SimGirl that yes, there is a scale that leads to penetration.
Oh god!
There is a meter that leads to penetration.
And you have to have permission too, by the way.
Yes.
Can I enjoy sex tonight? No.
Time for your dick flattening.
just penetrate me. Shut the fuck up.
I did this for many years. In doing so, we are prioritizing another person's arousal and learning to overlook the signals we are currently receiving from our bodies. If we aren't careful, lube can become a tool that perpetuates forced sex situations, even when we are the ones forcing ourselves to continue with painful, dry, or uncomfortable sex.
Self-rape.
Stupid motherfucker.
If that is something that you have to experience, here's the big. Say no. There you go. There you go.
Well, some women can't say no
because they don't know that they should say no. Yeah. So they're raping themselves.
They've been self-raping all this time.
Self-raping.
You know, we've said that a couple times now. That's gonna become a thing.
Self-rape. What are you gonna do?
Self-rape. I
Are you
bet
gonna
you.
call the cops on yourself?
I bet you that self-rape is gonna become a widely used term in the near future.
Can I Article 13 myself for self-rape?
It's like 911. What's your emergency? I self-raped myself.
There was an accident.
I did it.
There was an accident.
Who did it? Me.
I did it.
Ma'am, how dry was your vulva?
How dry was your vulva, ma'am?
From the makers
How
of
dare they ask me that question?
From the makers of How Green Was My
It was
Valley.
like asking me what I was wearing.
From the makers of How Green Was My Valley, How Dry Was My Vulva.
My hand did the wandering.
Right. Lube is an excellent tool at our disposal. It can make already sensitive areas experience pleasure more intensely, like the nipples, feet, ears, clitoris, or penis. It can help people who want to have anal or vaginal penetration combat dry skin. And if we aren't
Talk
careful,
to your doctor about lube.
It's like,
Ask your doctor if lube is right for you.
5 out of 7 dermatologists say.
and if we aren't careful, it can teach you to ignore important signals from your body or prioritize penetration even if you prefer other sex acts.
Penetration.
I have to agree with what Son said. Every time you hear the word fucking penetration in this article, you take a shot. It's like glug, 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 glug.
All right, at the end of the article, I'm going to do a find thing and see how many times they say it.
Penetration.
Yeah, this woman is
Penetration.
obsessed with that word.
Since it is normal for us to be uneducated or miseducated about our body's healthy responses to arousal and physical touch, this happens more often than we even realize. Let's interrupt this sex-negative pattern by learning how to listen to our bodies and stimulate our skin accordingly. Before you use lube during vaginal penetration, ask yourself why you are using the
Consult your
lube.
doctor.
Who you are using it for. What might your body be trying to tell you right now? What would make you feel relaxed and able to receive pleasure?
No one is sex negative like these people say that they're sex negative. Sex is a dirty, filthy thing, and everyone loves it. Shut up.
It just occurred to me. You could always have another commercial. Like I said, Mom, do you ever get that not so moist feeling?
You know, I hope these sex negative types live by their own ideology, and like I said earlier in the program, never procreate ever.
Yeah.
Remember,
For that not so wet feeling.
remember, sex is defined by pleasure, not penetration. Real
See, I would
sex.
just-
Penetration.
Glug 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 glug.
No, but like, sex is the act by which procreation is made possible, and penetration is quite important in that process. Like,
Sure.
you can't have it without doing it. So it's like you can feel as good as you want, but the sex isn't going to serve its purpose unless there's a dick in a cunt.
That's what my parents told me.
Or a dildus in a vagoblin, you know.
you must wade your way through. You must wade your way through the dry Sahara in order to find the sexual scroll.
Wait, hold on. Let me find it real quick.
It's like is her twat like a fucking desert? She got cactuses and shit growing out there.
Every video of her vagina is like a shot from Lawrence of Arabia.
You need a Saracen sword to get through that shit, man.
Real sex doesn't occur when something hard slides into something wet, and foreplay is a substantial and satisfying way to experience sexual pleasure. Regardless of your relationship status or the gender of your significant other, it's healthy to advocate for your pleasure and press pause if your body isn't ready to play.
You could start by running up the stairs to the crypt, grab the books from the skeletons, and pass into the pit and the pendulum. Knock over the column and climb into the king's storeroom. Smash the clay pots to find the key that will lead you to the chamber of the sacred markers. Match the symbols on the right to the runes on the left, and then pass into the room of the ancient warriors. Place yourself in the correct armor and open the door to the shrine of the silver monkey. Assemble the statue, and you may be headed towards the room of secret password. Then find the tablet and the correct inscription. Shout it out and open the door to the Pharaoh's secret passage. Slide down the tunnel to the quicksand bog, where you can smash through the dark forest. But beware of the temple guards that may inhabit the trees. Find the key in the tree, and you'll enter into the Juster's court. Press yourself up against the correct wall painting, and you'll gain entry into the tomb of the headless kings. Pull the vines to release the bones, and then attach the missing skull to the proper king, and then race through the pit, climb through the ledges, and race down the stairs and back to the temple gate.
And so, little
You
Jimmy,
win.
that's where babies come from.
The choices are yours and yours alone.
I forgot that you were looking something up. I thought you had memorized this.
No. I wish I had that memorized.
That just reminds me of that old Nickelodeon show.
That's exactly what I was reading.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
what
it
he was reading from.
Okay.
I remember that shit.
That game show for kids called Legends of the Hidden Temple, where Olmec was this guy that was voicing and they race through this fucking temple that they have like these lives that they have to give to temple guards that jump out and scare the shit out of the kids, and if you don't have a soul, if you don't have a life left, they actually fucking take your ass out of it and you
They abduct you and you're never seen again.
It's disturbing as fuck. Hey, I got abducted by a temple guard.
If only they had lube.
Well, I mean, after they get they go to the shrine of the silver monkey, they can get the key and then get back out and in the choices are yours and theirs alone to reach their sexual fate as foretold in the scrolls.
I'm just picturing like that whole speech is just the answer to, hey, where's the clitoris?
Instead of it's right there. We needed an entire paragraph of shit.
Well, you get the key
Go
and
on,
then
then.
assemble the statue, and then. And that's sex in a nutshell.
Yes.
Giggity. I see what you did there.
Tonight.
Oh wait, I got to.
Enter penetration.
Yes, do the penetration search. That just sounded wrong.
Do the penetration search.
Well, that last paragraph, though, I kind of have to disagree because she's like, regardless of your relationship or gender, if two women have got dry vages, who fucking cares? What are they going to do? Nothing. It's not like scissoring is going to help them out at all. What does it matter if you've got a dry? If two women have dry vaginas and they're just doing a bunch of scissoring? Who
Well, you know,
cares?
if they're scissoring while they're not dry, is that like slapping two pieces of roast beef together?
It's like,
Well, variations on the word penetrate or penetration appear 16 times.
wow.
So if we went by what was it, Sun's drinking game, we'd be dead.
16 shots.
I mean, just look
And
at
that-
this part alone.
I mean, that one right there, fucking 4 times in one paragraph. This woman obviously likes some penetration.
Or like at least likes talking about it.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it's more talk because she doesn't want to be under that evil lube. That's bad.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
No, she
lube-
just wants to be worked up first. Which,
lube is synonymous with rape. So
yeah.
All right. Well, that's everything I had for tonight, gentlemen. So I'm going to shill my co-host and guest. Jack Gunsky has Quippers United on Sundays at 7 p.m. EST. And all these channels are linked in the description. Let's see. Moonshock has a new...
I have an announcement.
Oh, yeah, yes.
I
Moon
wanted-
has-
I
Moon
want-
has an
I wanted
announcement.
to let everybody know that I will be starting a new job on the 1st of March,
Hey.
and it will come with a significant pay raise, and my time of unemployment will be ending at the end of February. So,
Nice.
yeah, I have been unemployed for, it'll actually be about 5 months in total, and I was able to grab a great new job, and I'm hoping that it'll go really well. So, thank you very much for everybody who actually gave me good vibes and good, well, that they were allowed to give good vibes, according to this woman here. So
I would have given good vibes, but you weren't wet enough.
You needed to bust out the lube, so you know.
I forced myself to give good vibes.
yes, I needed lube for this job. So, but no, everything
So
is
Jack,
going
what
good.
you're saying is that you self-raped.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Frosted, but I wanted to make that announcement before you continue.
Moon's new job at a casting couch.
Ooh.
We're all happy for
Hey man,
Moon.
can you put in a good word for me?
Yes, thank you.
All right, but he does have a new Twitch channel where he games.
Yes.
That is also linked in the description. He's playing
Yes,
7
and,
Days to Die right now.
So, and Terry will never ever watch it. Frosted, you once the one cameo that you made. Every time I find one of those goddamn glass jars, they are now called frosted glass jars.
Well, you shouldn't have called yourself a glass blower because I'm not into that. Let's see. Terry is on Minions on Delahaye's nights. Let's see. He's on Quippers United. He's on this, and he's on Johnny Hellcat streams. Is that everything?
Yes.
No, you forgot one thing. You forgot the portal.
Oh, that's right. He also has a portal into Moon's wife's bedroom.
That was created by her, by the way, not by him.
Yeah.
Oh, into, I get it. Ah,
Shut up.
All right, and Quiz is on comic book curation on Polydub's channel. Are you guys still on Wednesdays or?
yeah, we're kind of taking a little bit of a break. Polly has some personal issues that he's got to work through. But we're hopefully going to be, starting in soon, starting in strong. We hit 100 episodes, and that was our big goal. Our big goal. So we had our anniversary. We did black and white special, but yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think the corner is a little over 20 episodes in.
Nice.
All right. Anything else you want to shill quiz?
I paint minis on Minions of the Zoo on Monday nights, and then I also have my own channel. I don't have much going on there right now. I'm hopefully going to be getting another role-playing stream started soon. Hopefully that'll happen, and we can do a simul broadcast on this and Twitch. I don't actually have a Twitch yet, but yeah, that's the plan at least. And then yeah, I'm still slowly and steadily working on getting a whole bunch of stuff painted so that we can start doing battle reports on my channel.
Did those minis give consent to be painted first?
Well, you know, the plastic was asking for it. So
Did you see what
It
they
was
were
purple?
wearing?
yes.
So,
He puts what they're wearing on.
so what kind of role playing game are you gonna do?
This next time we're going to be doing Wrath and Glory, which is the Warhammer 40K set. You know, the setting for Warhammer 40,000 in like a D&D style role playing game.
Cool.
All right. All right. And okay, so I think that's it. So I'd like to thank my co-host and guest, Jake Gunsky.
Be sure to be very wary when crossing the Vagina Desert to get the sexual scrolls.
You can
Moonshock.
start by
Yeah, quiz. Read that whole thing
The
again.
whole thing over again.
No.
Moonshock.
Remember, when you penetrate, always get permission.
Terry Diamantis.
Bye, everyone.
And our guest quiz.
That good, huh?
yes.
And say excuse me, goddammit.
I was legitimately hoping you read the whole thing all over again.
Nah.
All right, and also I think I'm gonna be shifting to Friday nights instead of Thursday nights because I think it works better for everybody.
Yes, yeah.
So
Yeah.
just a note to anybody who expects this on Thursday nights. All right. So
Having said that, however, what are we going to do with MST3K? Move that to Sundays then?
yeah, maybe or Saturdays.
Okay.
We'll
Just
still
curious.
find a time for it. All
All
right.
right.
So we'll see you. I'll see you guys next week, and so long.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
So long and thanks for all the fish.